It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Help.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Well, hey, hot stuff.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
It's choppy waters out here.
The aim? To make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners and valiant losers.
It couldn't go worse, could it?
Will it be the high road to glory?
Oh, I like your style.
Or the slow road to disaster?
Oh, blimey.
Oh, need me to get out and push?
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Captivating countryside, bonny banks and braes, cattle and, cats. Oh yes, we're in stunning Scotland, don't you know? It's a brand new trip through her homeland for local lass auctioneer Natasha Raskin Shah.
Well, hey, hot stuff.
It's Miss Daisy.
And her petrol head pal and fellow auctioneer Philip Serrell.
If you've got a pickup, be rude not to use it.
Budge up, Tash. Phil's on driving duties.
When the sun shines in Scotland, there is nowhere quite like.
Tash, is this just the coolest car ever?
You betcha. This rather snazzy-looking motor is a 1948 Chevrolet pickup. And she's purring like a dream.
It makes a noise. Listen to this. How good is that, eh? I'm never going to give them this back. I'm going to keep this.
You might have to make a considerable profit if you're thinking of investing in a car at the end of the road.
Well, that's ruled that out then, hasn't it?
Well, you never know, Phil. It's not the first time these two have paired up over the years. So where do things stand, then?
This just has erased all memory of other cars.
Well, it hasn't erased the last one trip for me. I got absolutely pummeled by you.
Oh, sounds painful. Last time out, our auctioneer and fine art aficionado Natasha found a feast for her eyes.
This Highlander, dashing doesn't even cover it. I've stumbled upon an historical hottie.
And a fellow auctioneer from Worcester? He just plumped for a feast.
Where's Bill? Is he busy buying antiques? No, he's having what looks to be a delicious scone.
Can I just stop you? I haven't gone for a scone.
How many scones in are you?
This is the second.
But at auction, it was a tea set from Tash that took the biscuit.
Anywhere else now?
Oh my
goodness. £750, you're finished. Sold at £750.
So this will be the fourth outing together, and someone's been keeping tally.
Score-wise, it's 2-1. Last night I was having all sort of nice sweet dreams about winning 3-1 at the end, but actually it's 2-1 to you.
No, there's a light.
So my only hope is to
Draw even. Hey, but we're on your home patch, aren't we?
Yes.
This is Phil Serrell versus the rest of Scotland. That's how I'm looking at this.
Now, this is a fair fight. You'll both get a fresh £200 kitty for every outing. Whoever wins the most auctions in this best of 5 battle will be crowned champ of this trip. Easy.
That's quite interesting. A horse among the lambs and the sheep.
If you crossed a horse and a lamb, what would it be? Absolutely.
Good job they make each other laugh, eh? Because there's a long way to go. They'll begin on the Scottish east coast and head west before crossing the border and cruising through Cumbria and Yorkshire, ending up in Derbyshire.
Morning, thank you very much.
Have a lovely day.
Yeah.
But they've got 2 horsepower. And we've
What do we
got
have?
lots of horsepower.
Shot on, a tour of central Scotland awaits. On this leg, they'll be shopping their way to Stirling, but we kick things off in the Perthshire village of Rate.
Phil, look at this. Welcome to Scotland. It's always this perfect. It's always this perfect. Oh, look. Who's going to win? Bro. What was that? Oh, Natasha. I think it was bad Tasha. Yeah, cool. Bye. Bye.
Lordy,
Bye.
no
Sorry,
wonder you look
sorry.
sheepish. Hoping to avoid a fleecing, first stop, Rate Antique Centre.
Well, before we split up, should we start in court 1 together?
On hand to point these two in the right direction are dealers Colin and Andrew, presiding over a wealth of antiques and collectibles, from fine art to furnishings and everything in between.
That is a Davenport. Why on earth would you call that a Davenport? The answer is simply this. There was a Captain Davenport who wanted a desk, and he designed the type of desk that he wanted. And in the workshop manual, it had Captain Davenport's desk, Captain Davenport's desk, Captain Davenport's desk.
Easy for you to say, Phil.
And that was such a mouthful that at the end of the day, they dropped the captain and they dropped the desk, and it just became a Davenport. It's a writing desk. Back in the day, this was probably £2,500 to £3,000. Today, it's really good value at 1,150 quid, which is roughly 950 quid. more than I've got.
Yes, best lower your sight slightly. Maybe Natasha will fare better keeping a budget in mind.
What is that? That is so exquisite.
Or maybe not.
What am I looking at? Basically, a gilded, really elaborate, pierced, staged stand for, wait for it, little bobbins of thread. This is so over the top, I can't quite deal with it. You can buy it today for £2,650. Oh my days. I mean, if you had the money, you would, wouldn't you? Because that is just so, as people say today, extra. Massively extra.
Have these two ever done this before? Rein it in, chaps.
Actually, I really love that.
That's more like it.
So that is a Georgian mustard pot. It's missing its cover, kind of classical shape, but what I love about that is what you call a lemon squeezer bottom. And if you look closely, it's almost like the old glass lemon squeezers that your mum used to have. So that is a little Georgian mustard pot. How much is that? £45. I quite like that, but I've got to try and buy it for like 20, 25 quid.
A 50% discount? I'm not sure that'll cut the mustard. Now, what's Tash found?
So often these apothecary labels are, you know, really intricate and they're gilded and they're done by hand. This one's quite humble. It's aged quite nicely, actually. C.W. Richardson, Cash Drugstores, Bradford. But I like the fact that it's chloroform.
Blimey, Phil might need to keep his wits about him.
£20 is the ticket price. Would I, as a collector of these things, pay more? I think I might. I mean, you think chloroform and your mind goes to a murderer in an early Hollywood movie, some sort of black and white, putting a cloth over a victim's face and knocking them out. I think generally it was used more for anaesthetic. I think that kind of murder shtick is probably a bit hammed up. And do you know what? I hate to say it, but sometimes in this world, it's the macabre that sells.
While Tash ponders the dark side,
Oh, it's blooming lovely out here.
Phil is looking on the bright side, indulging in a little al fresco shopping.
In my book, that's a big kind of lumpy mallet. Oh, Lord above. This is a cast iron fence maul or mell, a rare find in great condition. That is heavy.
Look, it still works.
I tell you, blimey. They didn't tell me there'd be manual work at the office in this. How much is that? £45. So Glasgow's got to be ready, either for a glass mustard pot or a blooming great hammer, haven't they?
Of course. They'd be mad not to. And while Phil heads off to hammer out a deal, something has caught Tash's eye.
That sticks out because of its colour. Look how beautifully bright that is. That is West German kitchenalia at its finest, I would say. We have pots, we have little salt and pepper, we have a tray, we have what is described on the label as a must-have collectible for £38. I think I must have it. Yeah, I agree.
No messing about. She sees it, she likes it. Time to strike a deal with Colin, clad in an appropriately matching jumper.
Colin, hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Oh, you've managed to find something.
I have.
Good.
I've found completely disparate items, haven't I? So late 19th, maybe early 20th century for the apothecary bottle. So that's £20. And then on this one, you have £38 for the West German kitchenalia.
I'll give you £10 off.
Oh, wow, £28.
£28.
And then this is £20. So do you know what? I shouldn't quibble at £20. I should probably stick with that, shouldn't I?
Yes, I think so.
So
yeah.
£20 plus 28, 48. Hey, I'm pretty
Squidlets.
pleased with that.
2 items in the bag for Natasha, leaving her with £152 to play with.
See you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's plastic. What a beautiful day.
Phil's chance now to strike a deal on his finds.
Andrew, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'll tell you what, I think you've got a really good shop.
Thank you.
I love your stuff.
Oh, you smooth talker, you.
I really love this little mustard. It's sweet, isn't it?
Yes, it's lovely.
But we're going to an auction in Scotland. Is there anything else that you think might be peculiarly Scottish that might help in Glasgow?
Yes, Phil, if you're going to a Scottish auction, I think this wee
Scottish flat iron is possibly worth a punt.
So you lift that up there, and then you get this little piece of iron here, get that red hot, pop that in there, drop that down, then way to go, you've got an iron.
Yes.
And that's £56. And then you've got this here. I like that, it's a lump.
It's called a mill in Scotland.
That's at 45. I'd like to buy, if possible, 3. You tell me what the best is you can get to on those, please, Andrew.
Right, these two here I could do for £30 each.
£25, that's it. Yeah.
Go on, just because it's you, I will.
What a gentleman. And what's the best we could do on this then?
£35 it could be.
Go on, that's 85 in total, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Go on.
£25 for the mustard pot, the iron also at 25, and that big lump weighs in at 35.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I've certainly got a bit of variety here, haven't I?
You have, yes.
Not too shabby for a morning's work, and still 115 left to spend.
I'm quite pleased with those.
As you should be, Phil. Lovely stuff. Meanwhile, Tash is arriving at her next port of call in the nearby city of Perth, stopping off at Vectron Vintage, where dealer Gordon stocks a wide selection of antique goodies. Lots of options for Tash to spend some of her remaining £152, from the weird to the wonderful. There she goes. Lovely.
Why not use your commode as a champagne bucket?
Well, it's certainly where I keep mine. How's that for giving an old object a new lease of life?
Well, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I do have a soft spot for decanters, which is really silly because they're not the most in vogue thing. Now let's have a little look, because this to me looks like a survivor of the 19th century, I would say. So this isn't cranberry glass that's been spun with clear glass onto which red, white and gilt have been painted. But we have 4 glasses, we have a little decanter, and by the size of it and by the size of those glasses, let's just say liqueur set. But the tray has survived, which is really lovely. I don't think it's going to be used. I just think it would be enjoyed by the collector of glass. But would it be coveted? Is it something to covet? Probably not. Is this one of these lots where you have to work hard at the haggle and then you head to the auction and it makes exactly what you should have paid for it in the first place?
At £35, you might be right, Tash. Now, where's Phil got himself to? Venturing west, he's branched out to the pretty town of Crieff. Its name comes from the Gaelic cruv, meaning trees. Hoping to unearth a bargain with his remaining £115 budget, he's arrived at King Street Antiques.
Hi, how you doing?
Good afternoon. Do you mind the step?
Oh, thank you. Philip, how are you?
Nick, nice to meet you.
Good to see you. You've got some interesting things in here, I can see that already.
Well, thank you very much.
It's all right if I have a look round?
Absolutely, more than welcome.
Thank you.
The store offers a glorious collection of antiques, art and collectibles, all carefully curated by owner Nick.
Do you know what? I just love stuff like this. This is called a cat. And it's called a cat because it doesn't matter which way you put it, it kind of lands on its feet. And it's basically a trivet. So you would have a wooden bowl, like a dairy bowl or something like that, and it just sits in there. But that's a really cool thing. £425. Do you know what? I've got such expensive tastes.
I'd say you don't have a cat's chance on your budget, Phil.
This is probably a bit more my speed. Look at that. It's got a maker's name to it. It's the Curtis Cultivator, made in Manchester.
Oi, not sure Nick would thank you for doing that, Phil.
How cool is that? So this is a lawn slitter or a carpet slasher. I've no idea how much that is, but I'm going to put that there because I could put that with me blooming lump hammer thing, couldn't I? That might be the way forward. Let's just keep looking.
One to think about, eh? Meanwhile, up the road in Perth...
Can't resist a cabinet at any point. That's smart, actually. That's really... Oh, that comes out, that little insert. Oh, look, I think that's a butter dish, actually. It's very sweet. And it has some lovely marks. H and H, which are 2 letters you want to see repeated on the underside of any bit of silver or fine electroplate. Hukin and Heath, silversmiths and makers of electroplated items. I mean, this falls into the latter category, which isn't, you know, sad. It's not like, oh, what a shame, because they were fine makers of electroplated items. So happy to hold it in my hands, happy to consider it, I think, actually, because it's such a smart little usable item. I hope it's not terribly expensive.
No ticket price on this one.
Because I actually think that would be a lovely thing to add to my collection.
Back in Crete, has Phil spotted a moneymaker yet?
You see, in antique terms, I'm looking at possibly one of the most unsaleable things that you could buy.
More's the pity.
There was a time when a bureau such as this was £6 to £9, £8 to £1,200. It probably dates to about, I don't know, 1770. Normally, many times, these tops here become bowed, and you can actually get your fingers behind them like that when they're closed. This isn't even bowed. The next issue that you might have is you get splits appearing along this fall flap. But I mean, it's just as, it's fine. I'm trying to find fault in it. This is, well, here, we've got a problem. Look, I found a problem. This drawer, this has cock beading. All this round here is called cock beading. And this bit of cock bead on the left-hand side of that drawer is missing. And there's another bit down there, missing. I'm trying to find reasons not to buy this. I don't know how much it is. Nick, come and save me from my lunacy. This is just a really good quality piece of furniture.
It's a fantastic piece.
That's unsaleable.
Completely unsaleable.
What do you think that would make at auction?
On a bad day, 30, 40 pounds.
Let's hope it's not a bad day.
Well, let's hope it's not a bad day. Yeah.
You've also got that garden aerator come carpet slasher thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's about as homespun as you can get. That,
Absolutely.
Given that you told me that could make 30 to 40 quid, what could you do the two for, please?
55 for the two.
Oh, come on, Nick, sharpen your pencil.
50 for the two.
See, I was thinking of 40.
45.
What's that expression? If you want to find a fool in the country, bring him with you. But you've been very kind to me. I'm going to shake your hand.
Super.
So
Thank you.
£45 I owe you, don't I?
Very kind, Nick. £35 for the bureau and a tenner for the cultivator. £70 left.
Don't ask me to carry it out.
No, I shan't.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Do
We'll have the bureau sent on. You can manage the rest, Phil.
you know what? I'm not sure I'm completely lost here. I bought a bureau that's totally unsaleable. And this. I have lost it.
You said it, not me. Back in Perth, Tash is hoping to seal a deal on her buttered dish.
Gordon, hello, how are you?
Hi Natasha, I'm well.
Very smart little butter dish. Bit of Hukin and Heath. And now, I know that is a great name, and I know it has no ticket price on it, so I'm wondering, what's the price and can I even afford it?
The ticket price on it, because obviously it's electric plate, not silver, is actually £25.
25. Now that seems extremely fair, but you know what I'm going to ask. Is it your very best price?
What about we go to 22?
22. I won't chance my arm anymore. Gordon, thank you
Natasha,
very much.
thank you very much.
Right, hey.
£3 off the butter dish, so no budget meltdown.
Thank you very much.
See you again. Wish me luck at the auction.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Job done. £130 still to play with. Time to catch up with your chum.
What a lovely day.
Top day. Top
And
day. It's always a lovely day with
I
you.
know.
It's always a lovely day.
You've just been the gentleman that I always trust that you will be. The door will be opened. Your P's and Q's will be minded.
Well,
You'll walk on the outside of the curb.
that was because the lady didn't get splashed when the coach came past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're such a gent. I love it.
Hey, he's not the only one, you know. Nighty-night. Another day dawns in sunny Scotland for our adventurous antiques hunters, cruising the country lanes in the spiffing Chevrolet pickup.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question now, right? This car is 6 years older than me. Which do you think to warm better?
You're not that old. Wow.
Not really an answer, though, was it?
You are as shiny and as beautiful as this car.
Nice recovery. Yesterday, Tash got off to a flyer, snapping up a 19th century apothecary bottle, a West German cruet set, and a 1920s silver-plated butter dish.
Because it's such a smart little usable item.
Leaving her £130 of this leg's budget to play with. Phil went all out, buying a Georgian mustard pot, a miniature brass iron, a mahogany bureau, a lawn cultivator, and a heavy hammer, as you do.
Blimey.
After that shopping spree, he still has £70 at his disposal. Back in the motor, the mutual appreciation continues.
You've got a cool eye, though. It's very contemporary, your eye.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
I always end up buying Victorian stuff.
No, you don't. You've got a very good contemporary eye.
I'll take that, thanks.
Whereas I've just got an old eye.
Best keep those old eyes on the road, Mr. Serrell. Phil is dropping Natasha off at Easter Poldar, just outside Stirling. In a bog, lucky lady. This is Flanders Moss, the remnants of a huge bogland that once stretched across swathes of Scotland. Over centuries, the land here became waterlogged and plant matter submerged, eventually forming peat at the surface. These elevated mounds are why Flanders Moss is known as a raised bog, today one of the most intact in Europe. This bogland also formed the battlegrounds of several conflicts throughout the Anglo-Scottish Wars, clashes that saw English armies suffer heavy losses at the hands of the Scots. Tash has come along to meet reserve staff Robin Hennessy and Amy Hood to find out why it remains a place of importance in Scotland today. And to scratch the surface of this ancient land, she'll need the right tools.
These are serious.
We'll pass you this one.
Look at that. I wasn't expecting to see something. It's an antique by the looks of it. Look
It
at
is,
that.
yeah. So they're about 50 years old, but probably older.
Watch yourself, she'll be after a deal on those. Peat cutters like these have been used for hundreds of years to dig below the surface of the bog and will come in handy to show Tash what lies beneath. The multicoloured sphagnum mosses provide a wet and wonderful habitat for specialist plants and animals, like Scotland's only native venomous snake, the adder. So mind where you're squelching, Natasha.
Oh gosh, do you want us to take something for you?
No, it's absolutely
You
fine,
should, right,
honestly.
okay.
What did I just stand on?
So basically you went into here,
I
like
did.
sphagnum, and so as you can see, it's, you know, you went right down.
Oh my goodness, so I'm
Yes.
going to be squeaking all the way.
You will.
I've made a right plonker of myself.
No, you've not.
Our girl isn't the first to have struggled to traverse this waterlogged terrain. It played a vital role in Scottish victories at both Bannockburn and the Battle of Stirling Bridge, where English knights floundered in the boggy ground. Many soldiers waiting to cross the bridge chose to flee instead, handing victory to the army of William Wallace.
They would have been wearing metal armour.
Yes.
And they would have had no chance.
Yeah.
Woo! Just like me right now.
Once covering an area of over 2,000 hectares, much of the bog has been lost. Today, it's only around 60% of its original size.
So if this is just a fraction of the bog network that was, what happened to the rest of it?
Well, back then, a lot of people really didn't know the value of peatland like we do now. We didn't know it was so valuable for biodiversity and carbon sequestering. So back then, they really just saw it as a place they could turn into agricultural land.
Right.
So a lot of effort was made to drain it, put ditches in. People were told if they stayed on the land and worked to clear it, ditch it, drain it, then they could stay there for a reduced cost.
In the centuries since, we've learned to appreciate not only the bog's historical significance, but also its importance for the future of the environment, acting as a natural carbon and water store. Working tirelessly to monitor and restore this wetland, the team here have a simple technique for determining the age of various parts of the bog.
We'll find out how deep and how old the bog is now. We know that peat accumulates at about 1 millimetre per year, so that roughly translates to 1 metre, equaling 1,000 years of history, if that goes into the soil.
Yeah, nice and simple and neat, actually. It's very considerate of the bog to be so easy to measure.
It is, it's good. So I'll give you the first one.
Okay.
And just shove it in.
Right, okay, here we go.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then you want to screw this one.
Oh, so you don't screw it? Of course. Oh, that's a perfect system, actually. I like your
You just
style.
twist it round. And then you push that one down.
I'm just starting to realise how feeble I am now. Right, okay.
You need to come work on a bog for a bit.
I do, yeah. I think that's the new workout.
Ha! Bogsercise, that's going to take off.
So we're currently at 5,000 years, everyone.
Yeah.
We're at 5,000 years and we could be deeper.
We know that the deepest point in Flanders is about 8 metres.
Really amazing, 8,000 years.
So it means that it's 8,000 years old.
That is fantastic, isn't it?
Despite having caused centuries of destruction to this biodiverse landscape, thankfully today we humans are helping it to thrive.
I really enjoyed that. I feel like we did something important there.
Well, you have. You've made your mark on Flanders moss now.
I can't wait to tell Phil all about it.
Yeah, and you're tripping the bog.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
While Natasha dries off her soggy boots, Phil's on the move again, making his way towards the historic village of Doon, once renowned for the manufacture of Doon pistols, and Mr. Serrell is off like a shot to the desirable curio vintage and antiques store, jam-packed with goodies. It's the perfect spot to spend some of his remaining £70, overseen by owner Sharon. Like what you see, Phil?
That's just awful, isn't it?
Maybe focus on the knickknacks instead.
I mean, honestly, just look at that. Actually, but I didn't think I could do that. Really?
Now, Phil's not the only one thinking about spending a penny. Tash has reached the city of Stirling for her last chance to dip into her remaining £130 budget, popping into Revivo Furniture, a huge warehouse chock full of antiques, ceramics and collectibles, all kept in ship-shape condition by manager Thomas. Let's see what our girl can uncover.
Do you know, these are never worth anything, but they're always worth looking at. Ugh. I can see from here that this is... Oh, hold on. This is massively uncomfortable. Ugh. Loch Catrin by Preston Cribb, and it's not limited edition. So it is an open edition etching, probably Victorian or early 20th century. Not exciting, except when you're Glaswegian, because Glaswegians love Loch Catrin. Oh, this is from whence our water comes in Glasgow. When people come to visit you in Glasgow and they say, do you have any bottled water? We say, no, we do not, because our water comes from Loch Catrin and it tastes so good. All I can say is, come to Glasgow, the water is fine.
Thirsty work, this antiques hunting.
That's very sweet. Look at that. I mean, come on. That makes me feel so ungainly because it's so dainty. And when I think about how I consume toast, it's from the toaster to the side plate with no bridging paraphernalia. This is the bridge, okay? This is the beautiful hallmarked silver bridge. Edwardian, maybe George V, but we're certainly early 20th century and we're certainly still laying the table for breakfast. Today, no one's using this for toast.
Some of us still are, don't you know?
But it could add to someone's collection of Sheffield silver or someone's collection of tableware. I don't know where it will end up. What matters is what someone will pay for it. There's no ticket price. I think it's worth a shot, so yeah, I'll take it with me.
First find of the day for Tash. Back in Doon, Phil is eyeing up a potential buy of his own.
W. Gardner, Opticians, 3 Royal Bank Place, Glasgow. So what we've got is a canister, 10 inches long, hollow. It's a container for something. What might it contain? Well, it could contain lenses. I don't think it's going to contain frames. It might contain arms off glasses. You know, who knows? It's clearly something that this firm thought worthy of advertising, I would guess, in the back end of the 19th century. And it's interesting, this, like, you know, in my world, there's a very thin dividing line between priceless and worthless. Because if you are a gardener who's an optician in Royal Bank Place in Glasgow, then that is priceless for you. But if you're an oik from Worcestershire, like what I am, you might consider it to be worthless. I don't know. So I like that. I think that's going to be a possibility. There's no price on it. What's that? So, this is a list of songs or something. This is signed Daniel Craig, Helensburgh. Except I'm not sure it's that Daniel Craig. So it's a handwritten bit of script of various Scottish songs. But I'm going to, that and that opticians thing, I'm going to wander out the front to Sharon. I mean, there's no price on them. Well, they must be free, mustn't they?
I'm not sure that's how it works, Phil. Back in Stirling, though, the hunt goes on.
Right, what am I going to find on this dining table? Quite a strange array.
Looks like more silver. Sterling? Sterling silver, you might say.
So that's hallmarked silver, and that's hallmarked silver. And before I start going through every single one, I imagine they're all hallmarked silver. I think I just need to make a decision because I have £130 in total, and I don't think there's any way that I'll be able to come away with all of these for any less than that. So I should probably extract a few. There are 4 matching London spoons. If I get rid of those, leave 8, which leaves a variety of provincial marks and 1 London mark, I think. Let's see if Thomas will do a deal.
Sounds like a plan to me. Back in Doon, it looks like Phil is mapping out another possible purchase.
I love maps. So this is a canvas-backed map, 1828, good and old, nearly 200 years old. Just look at the work in this. I just think this is really cool. It's really, really fragile. Right, this is a challenge. Where am I? Spending my life answering that question.
Feeling lost? Good thing you've got a local on hand.
Sharon, where are we?
We're in this sort of area.
In that?
Yeah.
We're probably on the fold, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just
on the fold.
On the fold. Right, I'll settle for that. So Sharon, you've told me where I am, which is always a good thing. Thanks for your help. Let me have a think and I'll come and see you at the counter.
No problem.
So what I've now got to do is think what I'm going to buy. I like that bit of a kind of handwritten notey thing, and I like the map, and I kind of have a passing interest in that. But the more I think about it, who wants to buy a tin with a dent in it? Me.
While Phil ponders, Tash is ready to make a deal in sterling.
So I was very drawn to this selection of silver spoons. And then I found another silver item as well, this little miniature toast rack.
Okay.
So all silver, the budget is limited, okay? Is there a world in which all of this silver could be purchased for £130? I think you're going to say no. Yeah,
no.
Okay. It's not possible. Okay, so I had a feeling you might say that. 8 spoons and 1 toast rack. Could that be £130?
Yes.
It could?
Aye, that's lovely toast rack. Yeah.
Oh.
Aye, okay.
Perfect, Thomas.
Done.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
perfect.
No,
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
£30 for the toast rack and a cool 100 for the spoons. Better pay the man.
The £130.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, let me scoop these up. Thank
Don't
you,
do that.
Thomas.
So, with not a penny to spare, Tash's shopping is done. Over in Doon, Phil's also looking to do a deal. With an optician's tin, a song script and a Scottish map under consideration.
So, Sharon, how you doing?
I'm fine.
But let's start in the middle. What's the very best you could do on that then, please?
Very best I can do on the map would be 20.
Okay. That has no price. What's the best you could do that for?
A fiver.
Okay, that's 25. And that one?
Fiver.
Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'd like to buy these two, £25, and I think I'm going to pass on that because I can't think who's going to want to buy a tin with a dent in it.
He saw sense in the end. £45 left unspent.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. I think you've got a cool shop here. See you again.
Thanks, Phil.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Shopping done, time to pick up your pals.
Can you not feel good where we are? I've got a great car, I've got a lovely lady next to me. I'm in Scotland. What is there not to love?
There's something good in the air, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's something
It's
in
not
the
me.
air.
No, it's not me, honestly.
sure that wasn't
I
you?
promise you it's not me.
Well, I did say good, so.
No, yeah,
You
absolutely.
smell rosy.
Who's Rosie?
On that note, time for some shut-eye. Hooray! It's auction day, and our road-tripping pals are in Tash's hometown.
Is there anybody who you don't know?
Glasgow's just a small place, Phil.
Or you're related to them all?
Yes. What are you saying about Glaswegian?
I haven't got a chance today.
After rummaging around the surrounds of Perth and Stirling, they've brought their wares a short drive down the road to Glasgow for the first round of our best of 5 at McTeer's Auctioneers, selling in the room, on the phone and online, with auctioneer James Bruce overseeing proceedings.
£150 then.
Phil spent £155 on 7 items, which he's craftily combined into 5 lots.
I particularly like the Victorian maul. In fact, the Victorian maul itself could come in handy today, considering some of the punters we get in for the auction. I'd quite like to use it as a gavel.
Natasha used every penny of her £200 budget, also on 5 lots. Money well spent?
The Victorian apothecary jar. It's not a particularly rare thing, but it is historical and it's got an interior appeal to it.
Right, take your seats. Let's get going.
Oh, here we go, here we go.
First up, Tash's West German cruet set.
You know, when people ask us what they should invest in, and sometimes we say precious metal, what about plastic? Orange plastic from West Germany?
Yeah, we're opening at £10 and 15 bid online. Any advance at 15?
Oh, come on.
Any more, or are we done here?
Come on.
£15, and the hammer's coming down then at 15. Fair warning.
Well, I'm disappointed because I thought at £28 that was actually quite a savvy buy.
Not savvy enough, sadly.
The world just wasn't quite ready for West German plastic.
No, the rest of Glasgow hasn't caught up with you yet.
Hey, it's online, it's the rest of the world.
Phil's bureau now. Definitely old and definitely not plastic, but is it any more saleable?
There was nothing wrong with this, and this was £1,200 25 years ago. I gave £35 for it, and I might lose money.
We're at £20 with me. Can we see 5?
Come on.
25 takes online.
Don't you dare make a loss on this. Don't you dare.
Online. I will sell it at £25 then.
That's crackers, isn't it?
25, 30, can't see it. And the hammer is coming down now.
Do you know, I thought that would happen.
And it turns out you weren't wrong. Ouch!
What kind of a world do we live in?
Well, a world that doesn't want Georgian bureaus.
Yeah, that world.
Tash's miniature silver toast rack now. No breakfast table should be without.
Do you have toast in the morning?
Absolutely.
Do you like sort of warm bread or do you like toasty, toasty, toasty?
Really hot with the butter melted in, or cold.
I'm with you.
10 starts in the book and 15 straight away online at 15 and 20 there, 3 rows in at £20 and 5
Oh,
bid.
25.
5 was 30.
That's doing all right.
Out at £30. Can't tempt you for one more bid.
Go
It's
on.
£25
Be
online.
tempted.
One more bid at all. 30 back in. Thank you very much. At £30. 5 is bid online. Out for real this time. Thank you very much anyway. £35. The hammer is coming down.
Very dainty.
Well done with you, well done you.
Dainty.
That's more like it. Tash earns a crust with the first profit of the day.
I'm chuffed with that.
Well done you.
Now then, Phil's mustard pot up next.
There is an issue with it.
Oh, issue. It wasn't cracked or anything.
No, I just want to say.
In the room second row, 10 in the room to sell, 10
Right.
in the sell,
£10 to start, £10 here, £15 now. Any advance at 15, 20 is bid. Where's 5? 5
we're so
surely,
close.
5
Come on,
surely.
profits.
£20, it's all online, and 5 now. 25, 30 is bid.
Oh, sorry.
At £30. We're goodbye at 30 and selling. Fair warning now.
Goodbye.
Can you imagine if it had its lid?
I know.
Can you imagine?
Lid or not, that certainly cut the mustard.
I'm very happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that.
Look lively, Tash's apothecary bottle now.
What's it for?
Chloroform.
65.
That could be a sleeper, couldn't it?
Well, I don't think so.
Sorry.
151.
Chlorof. Sleeper.
7, of course. The
20 I'll take, 20. 10 then to start things off. At 10 with me, 15 would be next. Are you coming back in online? It's
Come
10
on.
here with me.
Come on, come on, come on,
15,
come on.
if you're bidding, you're hovering there online and you've bid. You've taken it away from me at £15. We're at £15
more.
online.
Let's do 20.
20, are you coming in for another?
Yes, come on.
Doesn't look like it. I will sell at £15. The hammer's coming down.
Oh, it wasn't the sleeper I was hoping it would be.
No one woke it up, did they?
Out for the count with a small loss.
Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Yes, I think we should.
Phil's garden tool collection, the mall hammer and lawn cultivator.
So if you were going to bang in a post, you'd use...
Yeah, it's a £14 lump of metal.
It's creeping up online, but I've got 25 and £30 in the book. 5 if you're coming back. It's £30.
Oh, the
5 is
internet's
online.
come in.
5 is online. There we go, at 35.
The lot let me down, didn't it?
Hammer down, another loss for Phil.
In Worcestershire, there's a big demand for big lumpy hammers.
Now for Tash's Art Deco butter dish.
It's super stylish. And it's all about the frosted glass dish. I just...
Is it silver?
No. Can you imagine?
We can start off with me at £10. Any advance there at 10,
come on,
15
come on.
and 20 with me.
No, that's
20
off.
with me.
A
Are
wee
you
bit
back
more,
for
a wee bit
5?
more.
In the book commission bid, I
Just a
do
wee
have
bit.
to sell today. Fair warning. And the hammer's coming down at £20 then.
That's really sad.
Well, that looks like it's really, really good.
Not good enough though, some bit of bag to bargain now.
A loss doesn't always hurt, but that one, stab to the heart.
Phil's Scottish brass iron next. Let's hope this smooths things out.
You paid 25. I honestly think you're going to quadruple your money.
No,
Because
that does not happen.
We're at £25 with me, but who's got more? 25, 35, 5 here, 40 bid.
Come
Is
on.
40 in the book?
You've
Commission
already
bid with
made
me.
a fortune.
I have to tell you, you know more than I do.
£40. At £40 in the book, £40
I'll keep
in the
going,
book,
keep
and I
going.
can sell £40.
No, that'll do. I'm very happy
and
with that.
selling. Fair warning, it is then. £40.
I'm amazed
I'm very
because
happy.
I was sure that was going to make 100, but profit's profit.
Very good result, Mr. Serrell. No wrinkles there.
So quietly chuffed with that.
And Tash's final item is up next. The collection of silver spoons.
A lot of this is regional. There's all sorts. There's Exeter, there's Chester,
that's
there's
good.
Newcastle.
Well, that's good.
We can open the bidding at £70 with me. Any advance at 5 and 80, 80, 85, 90, 90,
that's good.
95, 5, 100 here.
Well done.
110, 20, 20 and 30, 40, 40,
done.
50
Get
to
in.
take, 150 on the
Good.
settee there. 150, 150 on the settee
like
there.
it. There's money in
160 in the
spoons.
bidding.
Absolutely.
Now we see 160. Ah, where's 160? Got to be worth that. Nope, 150 on the settee then I can sell. £150 then. 150.
Get in.
Well, that certainly stirred things up.
I'm delighted.
Absolute sugar, it's really good.
Yeah, but it's so hard to resist provincial silver, isn't it? Even when it's just a boring old spoon.
Hoping for a similar result, Phil's carefully curated Celtic collection. The map of Scotland and handwritten Scottish song script.
I love maps because I used to teach geography and I was going to be a cartographer in a very early life. And I love maps. We're in Scotland. I thought, well, I can't fail with this.
I can start it off here at 10 with me, and 15
hold on.
and 20,
We're moving.
20 and 5.
Oh.
5, where's 30? 5,
Go
we're
on.
going somewhere, but no, we're not at £25. I do have to push you, 30 you're back in. 5's against you though.
Yes,
Quite keen here at 35. It will be yours now. The hammer is coming down now. £35. You've had plenty of chance here at 35.
Next to bar NCT 105.
Heading in the right direction, but was it too little, too late?
How are we going to know where to go next?
Phil, this is my patch. Follow me. Follow me. Come on.
Famous last words.
You follow your local guide, Phil, while I tot up the totals. A mixed bag for Phil. After sale room costs, he's made a loss of £56.27. But Natasha pipped him to the post. After auction fees, she made a slightly smaller loss of £35.53. Which means Natasha is victorious and takes auction number 1. But there's still 4 more to go.
Oh, and relax.
Well, you can relax. I've got some catching up to do, haven't I?
Do you know something? Thank goodness for silver spoons.
Get out of here.
If I can
Just
advise you to buy one thing, it would
go,
be silver spoons.
go.
Very, very exciting lot, that.
play nicely.
Next time on the trip,
Hi there, pod thickers.
our Raskin roadsters go head to head,
Now walk that way. Don't let go.
Go, 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 go.
making some new pals
Well, you can't have that, can you?
I like that. It's like that.
and maybe even profits.
So what did you find?
I don't know.
Yes.